Hey, welcome again to a Brookside story. I'm Quinn Schultz, a member at Brookside Christian Reformed Church here in Southeast Grand Rapids. And right next to me is Tony Termolen. And you are going to find out some very interesting things about the mobile food ministry that we have. This is a mobile pantry, right?
Correct.
Tony?
Correct.
It's amazing. Look at all of these workers behind us, the worker bees that are unloading food. And a lot of good food. I see various kinds of fruit and tomatoes and all kinds of great things. So this happens every month. And we'll tell you a little bit about it, how you can get involved, and also how you can contribute to help keep this going. Because there was a time when this sort of thing was subsidized by the government.
Oh, a long time ago.
Long time ago.
A long time ago.
But no more.
Right.
And so, Tony, how long has Brookside been involved in doing this mobile food pantry?
We began our first distribution May of 2005, and it was set up differently. At that time, the truck would come in and we would put a U-shaped of tables around and put all the product from the truck, because it was a beverage truck. It had all these compartments, and it was like Christmas. You would open it up, and all this product, we'd put it on the tables, and then we had volunteers who would walk our guests around, and they got to choose what they would like to take home.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Before we get into it anymore,
Yeah.
I just want to scan over here. Come on with me just a little bit, Tony.
All our guests.
These are the guests that are right here. It's 3 rows. Then it goes
wide.
around 3 wide. Is it 3 wide all the way around?
Yes.
So I would guess right now we probably have already, and you don't start for another 20 minutes or so.
Correct.
How
There's
many?
probably 75, 80.
80 cars already.
Correct.
And I've been thinking lately about this, Tony, especially in terms of the cost of food. I do a lot of the shopping for us, and when I go out and buy a few things at the store, the food, and I look at the bill, I just can't believe it.
It's incredible.
So you think of how many people are needy and how many people that we serve here. How many do you think come on an average fourth Monday of the month?
Oh, we have about 120, 125 families.
Families.
Yes.
Okay.
And that has individuals, probably that's about 600 individuals.
Yeah.
And then we break it down into, for information for Feeding America, as to seniors and children and so on, so they could apply for grants to the government, but that hasn't really happened. But
Yeah, well, we're doing a great job.
we are.
And we're getting great support. We'll talk more about that from the congregation. So if you look down over here, right here we've got something.
Cottage cheese.
Cottage cheese. I just bought some cottage cheese a few days ago.
And it's probably what, $2.69, $2.70?
Mine was more than that.
Really?
Yeah, a little more than that.
All right.
And we've got some salmon, pink salmon.
Canned salmon.
Wow, I love it, love it, love it.
And black beans.
And
Those are a
black
buck a
beans,
can.
Buck a can.
Yeah, we're going to give them each 3.
And what you see here on the skids is stuff that is just being put into boxes and so on over here. So,
Correct.
Tony, let's go over
Well,
here.
it's just the produce and the fruit usually that we repackage.
Okay.
But in this case, bigger families, we do the bigger bags. It depends on how it's packaged.
How many volunteers do you typically have?
I would say there are usually 15 to 20
Okay.
volunteers.
Could you use more volunteers? That's one question.
We'd be happy to have introduce people here, because not everybody can be
Can
here
make
every
it every
month.
time, right?
So,
and I suppose
yeah.
winters are a little harder.
It's not harder. It's the same work. It's just colder.
But I mean, harder to get volunteers in the winter or not?
Oh no, we have a faithful crew.
Oh, wow.
We have some people here that have volunteered since the beginning.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful to be here and to see this in operation with all the people coming through. And I thank you for your work over the years. Now, let's talk a little bit about the funding.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a huge truck over here behind us. We'll shoot that in a minute. And they bring in a bunch of food.
Usually about 5,000 pounds.
5,000 pounds, and this is on the 4th Monday.
Always the 4th Monday, not the last Monday of the month.
But the
4th Monday.
Okay. And then you have all these volunteers, and you unload it, and you pack it up in a way that you can easily give it to folks as they come through the line in their cars.
We had to change the format of how we distributed food when COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
And what were we going to
wow.
do? So COVID put a whole new picture on this.
Yeah.
We used to invite people in for registration and host, coffee and stuff. But we had to do something different, and that's where this drive-through came from, is from COVID. We still needed to help our community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great creativity too. And we get the food at a huge discount. Huge.
We don't pay for the food anymore. We make a pledge to Feeding America how much money we can give them towards their program every year. So we don't, in the beginning we used to buy a truck. We would buy 5,000 pounds or 7,500 or 10,000. You don't do that anymore. Now you just make a pledge and say, and they take an average of how many families we serve, and ours is 115 to 160 in that window, and so they send us enough food for that.
All right.
So they send us enough food for 144 families today.
And we pledge about $12,000 a year?
Correct. I figure it's about $1,000 a month that it costs Feeding America.
Okay.
And those are going to go up.
Yeah, it's going to go up radically.
Because of fuel, paying these gentlemen to drive the trucks.
Yeah.
The cost of the food, even though most of it's donated, has to be refrigerated and stuff at their warehouse.
And so when you think about paying for this, usually you depend heavily on a Thanksgiving Day worship service.
We do. The last couple of years, the Thanksgiving offering has been for mobile. We are not a budgeted line item. We never have been.
Right.
This has always been just contributions from church members.
Yeah, so none of it really, the money comes out of the regular church budget and contributions.
No.
You do the special offering, and then you have some folks that give
Well, we used to give
during the year.
During the year, people would say, "How we doing?" And I'd say, "Oh, we're a little low. We might not have
Okay.
enough next month." And I knew who to talk to.
That's good.
And then they would make their contribution.
You're my kind of person. This is great.
But I don't have to do that anymore.
Twist a few arms. You don't have to.
I didn't have to twist.
Anybody who comes out here and sees what's going on is going to want to support this. They can support it financially.
Yeah.
Just put a note on your check or in the envelope and say for the Mobile Food Pantry.
Anytime during the year.
Anytime during the year.
Yep.
That Thanksgiving, if you're here on Thanksgiving, that offering is great.
Yes.
And of course, that fourth Monday evening, not the last Monday, but the fourth Monday evening, come out around 5 o'clock is when you start.
5:30 is when the truck gets here. That's when I need people.
That's when you need them, 5:30.
And we just need them for that half hour to repackage like this. And then we don't need 20 people to distribute, but we do need all those people and their hands to do all this work.
You are a blessing. Thank you
It's a pleasure.
for
It's
starting this in 2005.
I can't take the credit. The Social Justice Committee had this in their heart, and this was Dan Boss, actually, from our church, who initiated this. He knew John Arnold, who was the man who created this program, and he said, "Oh, we got to do this." And then I was blessed to participate shortly after that, and
to help keep it going, I don't want to underestimate how the Holy Spirit is working through you and all these other volunteers here to help make it happen. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Tony.
Blessed to be a blessing.
Okay, bye-bye.